Hello everyone, welcome back to Milky Way Astrology. Let's talk about finding the time of marriage. Obviously, this person came to me for marriage reading. I have changed the name and it's a female's chart. So, we always have to look for whether the chart allows marriage. That's the first thing you have to look at. That's what I do in my experience. So, if you look at the seventh lord, because seventh house is the house of marriage, seventh house is Aries and its lord is Mars. It is with Venus in the 10th house. So, it is gaining directional strength here. And it is with Venus, that's one plus point. If you look at Jupiter, because it's a female's chart, Jupiter represents husband, partner, male partner. So Jupiter is in a strong position in the 3rd house and it is in the Mool Trikona zodiac. So yes, that's another plus point. Then look at the 2nd house, 11th house along with the 7th house, because these three are always important when it comes to marriage. Why? 2nd house is the house of family, 7th house is house of marriage and spouse, 11th house is the house of gains. Anything you get in your life, you need the blessings of the 11th house because it is the house of gains. You gain something in the life. Whether it's your spouse, whether it's your children, whether it's a wealth like a fixed asset, movable asset, anything, even spiritual pursuits. You gain that spiritual knowledge and spiritual energy or spiritual enlightenment. Even for that, you need the blessings of the 11th house. So in this case, we see that 2nd lord and the 7th lord, both are Mars. And Mars is, like I said, it is strongly posited in the 10th house. It's with Venus. And then 11th house is also strong. Because the lord of the 11th house is Sun, it is also there. Okay, that's another point. So we see that Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Sun, all of them are strong. But there is a catch here. I said Venus is strong. Yes, it is in the 10th house. It is in a neutral zodiac, Cancer zodiac. Okay. But it is with Mars. Mars is a male planet, fiery planet. Mars represents a poking stick. It's like a spear. It always hurts whatever planet it is sitting with. So here Venus is a soft planet, so Mars is hurting it. And they both are tightly conjunct. So you can see a planetary war here. So they both are tightly conjunct in the same degree, so Mars is hurting this Venus. They both are in Punarvasu Nakshatra. Punarvasu represents an energy that goes away and comes back again. It's like a boomerang. So this person will have conflict of partnership. Like when she goes towards her partner, partner will move away. And it's like a pushing pulling game. And this combination, Mars and Venus conjunction, is also trying to Saturn and Ketu in the 6th house. So they both are not aspecting. Ketu is aspecting, but Saturn is not aspecting, but they both are in Trikona house to this Mars and Venus. So it's like they both are connected to this. Planets, Trikona, trying to each other or connected. That's why planet in the 1st house, planet in the 5th house, planet in the 9th house, they all have some sort of connection, intangible connection. So what happens? They both are malefic. And they both are connected to these two planets from the 6th house. So already Venus is getting hurt by this Mars. And along with it, Ketu is also aspecting this Venus. And Ketu and Saturn, they both are also trinal connection to these two planets. So this Venus is definitely getting afflicted. That means through relationship, through marriage relationship, this person will go through ups and downs in life. Like constant fights and arguments will be there in the native's marital partnership. But this is not denying marriage. After looking at the birth chart, let's go to the Navamsha. In the Navamsha, we see again Mars is ruling the Navamsha Lagna. And Mars is also strong in the 9th house. And they both, Mars and Venus, are again conjunct here. And they both are Vargotama in the zodiac of Cancer. So Mars and Venus both are finding strength in the Navamsha. And Mars is also ruling the Navamsha ascendant. So again Mars is showing strength here. And you can see that Ketu is in the Lagna. So this person has to be like, okay, fine, I will not expect anything from my partner. I'll be just leading a simple marital life like that. So when she does that, automatically things will work out for this person. Like marriage will find some peace, some smooth relationship will be there. Why? Because of Ketu. And Ketu is also finding strength here because it's in its own zodiac. It's exalted here. Leave the exaltation also. But if you look at just simply, Ketu is the co-ruler of Scorpio. And it is in the Lagna. Very strong. So that means this person has to expect less in the marital partnership. Okay. Then you look at Jupiter. Here I spoke about Jupiter, right? So look at Jupiter. Jupiter is finding strength in the 10th house. It is in the friendly zodiac. Okay, fine. Jupiter is strong. Then the 11th lord here, Sun. Here again, Sun is in the 11th house. And it's in a friendly zodiac. Again, Sun is also finding strength. All right. Okay. So finally, I told you that Saturn and Ketu, they both are connected to this Mars and Venus. Here, if you look at it, this Ketu is aspecting this Mars and Venus, like here. Then again, this Saturn is also aspecting through the 10th aspect. So here also you can see that Ketu and Saturn are bringing some connection to this Mars and Venus. Like I said, Saturn and Ketu. Here also you can see that Saturn is aspecting from the 12th house. So there is a sort of letting go of emotions, letting go of expectations is seen in this person's marital partnership. See, it's not like a complete, 100% letting go. I am talking about there can be some specific things which I cannot discuss here in the video. I can only just talk about the basic things. So anyway, again we see that marriage is strong. Marriage will happen for this person. Rahu is also strongly posited in the 7th house. Okay. In the moon chart, you can see that 7th lord is again Mars. So Mars is strong, like I said before. It is with Venus. Okay, all right. Then the 2nd house is ruled by Mercury. It's in exaltation in the 5th house. Then the 11th house is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is in the 8th house. From the moon, that Jupiter is bringing some sort of 8th house energy. It is not only in the 8th house from the moon, also if you look at Pisces, we have Saturn and Ketu. Saturn and Ketu both are the karakas of the 8th house. So what we see is that through marriage, this person will have a lot of transformation in her life. But this person will be able to handle all those things. And come out of it well. Why? Because Jupiter is strongly posited here. The 8th lord Jupiter is in the 8th house. So now let's look at the Vimshotri Dasha. Currently this person is going through Rahu Dasha, Mahadasha and Ketu Antradasha. In this time period, do we see marriage? Obviously, Ketu is in the Lagna of Navamsha and Rahu is in the 7th house of Navamsha. Okay, and there is some sort of connection there. And Rahu and Ketu, they are always 7-7 axis in the birth chart and in the Navamsha. So, okay, that can bring marriage. Then, if you look at the current transit, currently Rahu is in the 6th house and Ketu is in the 12th house. So there is a change of role in the person's life. So that means right now, usually this person will be always looking for a partnership. Why? Because of Mars and Venus combination, tightly conjunct. So Mars is the planet of action and Venus is the planet of love, romance, relationship. So since they both are together, this person will always find herself in a partnership, relationship scenario, romantic scenario. But currently Rahu and Ketu are opposite to each other, transiting opposite to each other. So there is a change of role. That means this person will lose interest currently, since the transit started happening from November, and it will continue till the end of this Rahu Ketu period. So we have to look at Rahu Venus period. Rahu Venus has the power to bring romantic encounters, relationship, and marriage in some scenarios, like some people's chart. It's not always the case, but sometimes yes, if Rahu or Venus is strongly connected to 7th house or 7th lord or Dharakaraka, like that. Yeah, since talking about Dharakaraka, yes, Mars is also the Dharakaraka, not just 7th lord, it is also the Dharakaraka. Dharakaraka is the least degree planet, and it is also connected to the 7th house. It represents the 7th lord. So here both are same planets. So Mars is very strongly representing marriage. So anyway, Rahu Ketu, like I said, we have to look for June 2024 to June 2027, these 3 years. Obviously this person is also going through such age, so yes, marriage can happen in this time, but 3 years is a very huge time. So I have to find a short span of time so that I can give the prediction to the client. So I have to look for Yogini and Shara Dasha's support. So let's look at Yogini. Yogini shows currently Mercury Dasha is running. Does Mercury denies marriage? No. It's exalted in the 12th house and it is the 9th lord. And in the Navamsha, it is in the 5th house. And it is also the 11th house, 11th lord of Navamsha. So it does not deny marriage. It does not say yes also, but it does not deny. But since Vimshotri is the king of all the dashas, we take Vimshotri as the first say. Then we look at Yogini and Chara's support. That's how I do it. From my teacher, he taught me that look for Vimshotri, then get the support of Yogini and Chara. That is what I follow, and that works for me well. So in that case, we have to look for after June 2024. So we have Mercury and Moon Dasha. Okay, Mercury and Moon, they both are in 5-9 relationship. Here they both are in 2-12 relationship, and Mercury is in the 5th house. It is debilitated, but it is also aspecting the 11th house. So yes, Mercury has the power to bring marriage. Moon is in the 6th house. It is in friendly sign, but it is in 6th house. Okay, some sort of delays we see. Okay, but it is also Parivartana with Mars, but still Moon, it is Moon. Okay, so first that person will deny or delay marriage related things when it comes to Mercury Moon Dasha. So let's look at Mercury and Sun Dasha. Mercury and Sun, they both are strongly posited here. Mercury is exalted in the 12th house and Sun is also in its own Mool Trikona sign. Here also Mercury and Sun, they both are in 7-7 relationship. Mercury is aspecting this zodiac, its own zodiac, and Sun is in the 11th house. So yes, they both are aspecting each other 7-7. So anytime you see in the Navamsha, like the Mahadasha and Antradasha planet conjunct or 7-7 relationship, that has the power to bring marriage. Especially if the person is also running through these kind of ages, like in their 20s or 30s. So anyway, Mercury and Sun, Mercury Mahadasha and Sun shows marriage prospects. So from November 2024, it is from November 2024 to March 2025. Okay, then look at Capricorn Dasha, Chara Dasha. Capricorn is the 4th house. It is also aspected by Mars and Venus from the 10th house. Okay, that's one mark. Then Capricorn is aspecting 8th house, 11th house and the 2nd house. What did I tell you before? 11th house and the 2nd house, they both are connected to marriage prospects. So yes, that's another mark for Capricorn. If you look at Leo, first of all, Leo is the 11th house. Okay, that's one main thing, because 11th house is the house of gains. Okay, very powerful. Okay, that's good. Leo is also aspecting first house, fourth house, and the 7th house, the house of marriage itself. Not only that, first house is also the pada of the 7th house. So Leo is aspecting both first house, fourth house, and 7th house. So they both are connected to marriage. All right, that's very strong here. Okay, so Capricorn Leo shows marriage prospects. So finally, let's go to the transit. Yeah, now if you see, Venus is going over Jupiter, Mars is going over this Mars and Venus, then Saturn is aspecting the 7th house. Jupiter is acting like it is in the 7th house because Jupiter is retrograde. This time seems favorable. That means from November onwards. As you can see that Capricorn Leo Dasha is not far away. So the end of Capricorn Virgo and the beginning of Capricorn Leo. So that means from November onwards, the timing is strong. Try to accurately predict. If the planets related to marriage is involved with Saturn, Ketu, like that, they will always try to give you inaccurate predictions. They will, because they are the karakas of the 8th house. They are the planets of secrecy. They will try to keep things secret. But astrologers' job is to uncover those secrets, right? So let's try. What I'm trying to do is, let this Venus conjunct this Saturn. Okay, so Venus conjuncting the Saturn. Yeah, January 2025, we finally reached Capricorn Leo. Venus and Saturn are together in the 5th house, and this Saturn is also again aspecting the 7th house. This Jupiter is still retrograde, acting like it is in the 7th house. Mars is transiting over this Mars and Venus, and it is acting like it is in the 9th house. So it is, while transiting over this Mars and Venus, because it is in 5 degrees, it is also acting like it is in the 9th house. And then you see that the 11th lord is going over Jupiter, right? And the 2nd lord and the 7th lord, Mars, is also acting like it is in the 9th house. So 9th house is the house of Bhagya. So what I see is that this becomes the strong time, January. So I can tell my client that the end of December and the beginning of January, these 15 to 20 days period is the strong time. Even from moon, you can see that Jupiter is aspecting the 7th house. It is retrograde, acting like it is in the 12th house, but its aspect is falling over the 7th house. Then 7th lord Mars is again going over Mars and Venus. Then Saturn is again aspecting this 7th house, both Jupiter and Saturn. Here also you can see Saturn's connection is there, Jupiter's connection is there. Saturn is also conjunct Venus. Here also Saturn is conjunct Venus. Lagna Lord is also Venus. So you can see that Mars going over Mars and Venus, Jupiter is aspecting the 7th house. Then Saturn and Venus are conjunct, and Saturn is aspecting this 7th house. 11th lord Jupiter is also in the 8th house, and 2nd lord Mercury is going over this Jupiter. So there is a connection forming here, right, with the 11th lord and the 2nd lord, right? So that's how you can see, you can finalize the prediction. So what I'm telling you is that this time period, still I will not tell this client that 6th January 2025 is the day of marriage. Why? Because there will always be discrepancies. So I will tell this native that around the end of December, from that time onwards, the prospects of marriage becomes very strong. But actually, as we have already seen, from November itself the timing becomes strong. But see, marriage takes time, especially this Indian girl. So it can be arranged marriage, because Sun, Jupiter, all are involved. So it can be love marriage because of Mars and Venus, but after love it will become arranged. Sun, Jupiter, they both are trying to each other. Then Saturn is in Jupiter ruled zodiac. So there is a connection forming between Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn. So that is why I am saying that this person will go for arranged marriage, but it will start with love because of Mars and Venus, and they both are powerfully posited in the 10th house, and even in the Navamsha, they both are powerfully posited in the 9th house. So, anyway, guys, this is my analysis on prediction of timing of marriage. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.